It's the Think High crew, yeah. Yo, it's the Think High crew, what up? Yeah. It's the Think High crew, you know. It's the Think High crew, what up? It's the Think High crew, yeah. We may have had our differences. We may have had our differences. The suppression, the use of marijuana. The suppression. It's the Think High crew, yeah. 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 Think High crew, yeah.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to my hood.
What up, what up? Grand Rising guys and goddesses. We back with another Fire Music Friday. Your boys at the Think High crew. What's good, everybody?
Yeah, man. What's up to everybody on this Fire Music Friday? We got a new song that's been released. And you know what? Since it played, I'm going to just run that first of the other song. It's Fire Music Friday.
My hood.
Ain't
Nothing normal.
You can take a walk in my hood.
My hood.
Everything paranormal.
Paranormal.
Everything paranormal.
Yeah.
If you scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal.
Yeah.
If you really try to run, step into the
Buckle up, I'ma show you where it's at. We gon' burn a couple blunts, we gon' pop a couple caps. I ain't talking about 4-5s from the strap. Psilocybin driving, so we headed off the map. What you know about? Tasting color, seeing sound with a crystal eye. Turning nothing into something when we alchemize. Vandalize the lies with the truth. Ain't nobody wanna take shots at this proof. All we ever wanted was the answers. Looking for unique, but our vision keep us phantom. Vanta-Black man, ghost writing in a pentagram. I'm from the place where our thoughts meet the program. Not too many open to the power that they hold. Just know that when we shine, it's the reflection of your soul. Supreme beings moving, watch the galaxy implode. We are not alone. If you not normal, welcome home. Yeah.
Welcome to my hood.
My hood.
There ain't nothing
Nothing normal.
You can take a walk in my hood.
My hood.
Everything paranormal.
Paranormal.
Everything paranormal.
Yeah.
If you scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal.
Yeah.
If you really try to run, step into the
Yeah, I gotta hold on to this feeling. I be seeing visions through the folds of the prism. Projecting all wishes, anything I want is given. Paranormal vision, you can call it supervision. Control the superstition, make them wonder how we do it. They seen us in the mud, now we out here making music with the paranormal movement that's stronger than what you deal with. If Jesus was just a fraud, then hallelujah for Judas. Caesar is not the mob, so it just had to be Brutus. They hate when we on our job, cause persecution is useless. Proof that what we doing is more than just making music. Utilizing the truth, drop it off in the hood. Showing what's really good, the feeling is understood. We know just what it means to get it for all means. Supreme beings moving, watch reality explode. We are not alone, if you not normal, welcome home. Yeah.
Welcome to my hood.
My hood.
There ain't
Nothing normal.
You can take a walk in my hood.
My hood.
Everything paranormal.
Paranormal.
Everything paranormal.
Yeah.
If you scared of dying, we got something for you.
For you.
Open up the door, you can be immortal.
Yeah.
If you really try to run, step into the portal.
Yeah.
Fuck it, one more. Had to play this.
Yeah. This is the way that the chips fall. I hope you was betting on me.
I've been all this since the windfall. Watching the L coming streets. Never gave up on the old me. Been rapping so long, now I'm OG. Supreme of the valley, that's word of the adage. Just at me if you want the whole thing. And it's on me, I don't like the cap. I don't ever rap what I don't live. Keep the hood on tap, and it's a fact. We're only a fraction of my wrist. See, I'm built like that. I don't want it all. I just wanna ball with my bros. Give it all to the kids when we go, and let them know that your favorite rapper is a lie. Yeah, fuck what they talking, been telling you why. Yeah, you thought they was real? Open your eye. Yeah, this shit's not a game, we tryna survive. In a world where music is God, your favorite rapper is a lie. Yeah, fuck what they talking, been telling you why. Yeah, you thought they was real? Open your eye. Yeah, this shit's not a game, we tryna survive. In a world where music is God, your favorite rapper is a lie.
Wait till y'all hear this in the song. Benji do his thing.
Yeah. All right, we're here now.
Yeah.
Just had to get some music to get my blood flowing because I've been, doing mundane, stupid shit until now.
Hey, what up, light is bright? What up, Uncle Joe? Thanks for everybody joining us this Fire Music Friday. New release today, Vanta Black. Did y'all know Vanta Black is the blackest of the black?
Of all the blacks.
Of all the blacks. It has a total hemispherical reflectance of below 1% in the visible spectrum. BMW actually got a car that they just painted Vanta Black that you can get your BMW in Vanta Black now.
I wonder if that's considered being racist or what. If you went in there, say for instance, if a white person went in there and they were like, I'm trying to get that, I want the Vanta Black paint job, they'd be like, nah, you can get the black, but you can't get that Vanta Black though.
That shit is crazy though, because the song that's associated with it, the first few bars, you will understand why we named it Vanta Black. But it's the darkest material on Earth, according to Wikipedia here.
Is it the material, or is that the color code name when you're doing like coding and stuff?
Well, it's both kind of, because what the material was made out of, it's like it's a class of super black coatings. And it's just a combination of the number of black, I guess the color of black that they use in it. It has it's 1% visible in the visible spectrum. The name is the combination of the acronym Vanta and the shade of black.
But before, what is it used for?
Oh, I mean, it hasn't really been used for. Let's see here. Let's see
come
the
on
history
now.
of it. I'm sure we've it says that the original Vanta Black coating was grown from chemical vapor deposition, a process CVD, and is claimed to be the world's darkest material, absorbing 99.965.
You mean Harry Potter's
light.
cape wasn't made out of that?
Oh, yeah.
Or something crazy, stupid.
Yeah. See, you was taking it there. I love when you come with that. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Well, I mean, if this is some new hybrid color of black, it had to be used for something, right?
Yeah. Well, the name is the acronym Vanta is vertically aligned nanotube arrays.
Right. So that sounds like something from the space technology sector.
Yeah, for sure. It's the technology that, that's crazy. We could get into this. But
well, no. So, I mean, I wasn't trying to.
Well, it's just that it's composed of carbon nanotubes that absorb exceptionally high levels of visible light. It's widely considered one of the darkest pigments created. When applied to three-dimensional objects, Vanta Black produces the appearance of two-dimensional surface or avoided space.
Yeah, so you're trying to black it out altogether.
Yeah, and then the applications, it says infrared cameras, both on Earth and space. What else? This has a bunch. They use it for a bunch of shit that has to do with
No
space,
worries. It's all
and then
good.
like luxury products and designer items. Uh, but
I
obviously,
wonder if they have that color involved in any of these aircraft that are
Mm-hmm.
like
That are
basically
missing.
undetectable.
Yeah, they're
yeah,
missing aircraft.
yeah. So the BMW came out in 2019 at the Germany Motor Show with a VANTA-BLACK line of BMW
That
X6.
sounds German anyway. Does Banta? I mean, is
Well,
that
that's just
derived from?
it's an acronym for vertically aligned nanotube arrays, and it
Right, but I'm
means
just saying, like, did NASA come with that?
Sure. Something like that.
I'm NASA, German,
well,
whatever.
this shit is
Like,
like they're okay.
just
So
Banta in itself sounds like a German.
yeah, a German type of. But there's more than just VANTA-BLACK, I guess. The Vantas effectively okay. So Vantas are consequently widely used for a range of current and potential device applications. See, that's so crazy. This is a mysterious ass fucking type of shit, yo. Why are they being so vague? This is Britannica. And Wikipedia I'm looking in, and like it's just so vague with it when it comes to the Vanta side of it, the
When you say
vertically aligned.
Britannica, I just about lose my shit over here because that's like such an old school word. Like,
Ain't
I'm
it?
like, what has he got a book in his hand? What's happening over here?
No, they got it online now for
Okay, well, it's
yeah.
making me like, oh my God. Does it have leather bound books in his house? Oh,
She thinking I'm in my study.
I'm in the library over here. I'm like, what is he doing? What?
Oh shit. I can picture myself. That's what I'm kind of doing. It's just on
I'm
this
like,
damn
come on
computer.
now. You're not Andre 3000. Let's get it
No,
real
I'm
here.
not at all. I would have rapped on them fucking flute beats if I was him.
And I want to talk some point, put that back on the list to rotate around because I got some questions about that thing.
Well, I
So,
mean, it's Fire Music Friday. That's a good question to have. What you
is
what you
it?
have about it? Yeah, it's
Okay,
Fire
well,
Music Friday. Yeah,
since
you
you're
can.
in the Britannica, can you load up the titles of that new flute album?
Yeah. Oh, I love.
Okay. Please, sir.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Okay.
And please find me the one that has several names in the title and read it to me.
Okay.
I think it's number track 7, maybe.
Why the fuck am I sitting loud right now? Hold up. God damn.
Okay. Sorry, my kids in the
All right, my
background.
bad. My damn mic was being weird. I was gonna say, so I wasn't even gonna really listen to much of that Andre thing, but me and my wife started listening to it, and she's the type of person that if she starts something, she needs to finish it.
Right.
And so
Balance.
I had to finish this whole motherfucker. And I think it's cool how, say, I listened to it on, I think it was YouTube or Spotify, whatever. But so he's got a little title, you know what I mean? And it kind of like, I think it's like the mood setter. So he'll have like 2 sentences or maybe 1 sentence or whatever, kind of describing what you're about to, or describing what I say, maybe his trip, how his trip was, whatever he did, and then made him, have the idea to create that sound or that soundtrack or whatever you want to call it. But after like really putting myself in that of what he suggests was going on before or after or during, it's kind of fire, man, because it's nice just to be able to hear some sounds that just so happen to go together, but it doesn't even sound like they're really supposed to. But then there's not a bunch of dumbass fucking bullshit lyrics on there.
Oh, I think you were talking about
I
number
mean, it was
6.
just kind of nice just to know that, just to hear like just
Yeah.
some music. You know what I mean? I don't even
I
give a
haven't
fuck
I
what
haven't
kind of
sat
instrument
down
it
and
is.
listened to it yet, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean, bro. Because like I listen to classical music, some of it, at least because I know what they were doing with a lot of that shit. But I even I listen to all types of shit that's the frequencies and the sounds just they make me feel good. Like on some real shit. I listen. Y'all might think I'm weird as fuck, but I like listening to I can't what was a couple cultures that do it, but it's like the Hawaiian culture when they be doing those fucking crazy ass like all that shit. That shit be fucking dope to me. It gives me chills. And then when I listen to like some of the Egyptian music and shit, like some of the fucking there's a specific instrument that always fucking induces that kind of art. I can just listen to it. You know what I mean? But the track list for the album's called New Blue Sun.
Mm,
Um, and the track list that I think the number one that you were talking about, it was number 6.
okay.
Gandhi, Dalai
Yeah.
Lama, Your Lord and
Please.
Savior
Can you
Jesus
read the
Christ.
title? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the title,
Mm-hmm.
guys. So I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that was pretty. I actually like that one because he gives you 3 different examples on both sides of the
Oh yeah, it's a mirror,
whatever.
it's a balance. So it's called the track title is called Gandhi, Dalai Lama, Your Lord and Savior Jesus JC, Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy. That's the
Anybody want to give me an explanation of that?
Well,
um
I mean, it's the 3 greatest, right? The 3
some of the three
greatest
words, I
versus the
guess.
3 worst.
Is that what you take from it?
Well, I mean,
I
as an
mean,
artist, I take from it that he
well,
was
what do
doing a
you
lot
take
of
from it,
shit.
Megawatt? Because
I don't
obviously
know. No,
you
I'm
got
just
something
I
real
was really
deep.
surprised by the title. I like okay. So if I'm making music or a content
Right,
or something from my heart and I
right.
want to put it out there, I
Hmm.
wouldn't put all this other shit on top of it because it's marking it down in my
Right, but
Right.
opinion.
it's only a it's only sounds though. So like I
Sounds are
think
important.
Yeah.
right, but I mean, just think how criticized he would have been if he wouldn't have put any type of label on each song.
No, he could have put song number 4. I mean, that would have been a lot less controversial than this.
Right. Well, I think
Right.
it's supposed to. I think it's a measure of shock value because
Mhm.
I think I'm looking at it okay from an artist standpoint. If I were to name a song this long ass name title, I mean, which I I personally wouldn't. I would have maybe came up with some kind of acronym or something that would have incorporated what he was trying to do. Um, but in the sense of, Gandhi, Dalai Lama, your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy, I take it like he's kind of trolling
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
Well,
exactly.
so
Comparing.
here's the thing, like
It's like you think these people are responsible for this amount of deaths, but in all reality, the people that you think
and
aren't
it's like a
are.
reflection. It's like it's the
mhm.
mirror. Like what would be the
Mhm.
opposite? What would be the negative to Gandhi? What would be the negative to Dalai Lama? What would be and then people
And
would be
or
like,
what would be the positive to
right
Gacy?
to
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
or Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer. So I gotta listen to that one. That one it makes me really interested to see how it sounds if that's what he was if that's what he hears when he was playing the flute. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I mean, but like it's not like all of the titles of each track is just crazy like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not in the sense of the type of spells with these names
No,
that he
but
was
like
doing.
number 2, it didn't really shock me. I expected something like that from him because, he's named things
yeah,
weird like that before, so
yeah, the
that
slang
didn't really
word
shock
pussy
me.
rolls off the tongue with far better ease than the proper word vagina. Do you agree?
Yeah. So like I wasn't shocked at all by that. I was like, "Okay, well there's that one." All right.
Oh
And
my
then
god, I love it. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, so I think is
That's
uh,
one of the most vulgar things I've ever heard Andre 3000 say, honestly.
no, you
well, I
got to
mean,
listen to some of his albums. They have vulgarity in them.
yeah,
Oh.
and it's a more of
So
a
you're telling
poetic type
me
of
I
thing.
need to go listen to Andre 3000 albums?
Well, I mean, I'm
Are
talking
you
about
crazy?
Outcast.
He ain't even got no damn albums.
I'm talking about Outcast.
But no, I get what you're saying. But honestly, just like, me thinking of Andre 3000, that's one of the most vulgar things that he said, just in his whole career. Just lay it out there, just like
Well, yeah,
that.
because he
Yeah.
he would say some vulgar shit, but it would
But it would
be
be in a wordplay,
it'd
you
be
know.
it'd be a wordplay with it. It'd be poetic almost. You know what I'm saying? And but that's what makes him and well, a lot of people consider him an elite lyricist. Um, but a lot of people are confused about this. You know what I mean? The album that came out and shit, just because they, they're not
Well,
into a lot of the shit
I
that
see
we're
a
into.
lot of code or a lot of like
Hmm.
text like verbiage that he's messing with. So like I don't know if he's talked about it or I don't know if I just haven't seen it. But like the next one after the one we were just talking about, so number 7, the actual 7 is ants to you, gods to who. And it's the same, that's the same thing I was saying, before. Is like we're in a science project on some kid alien's desk from ninth grade, and they're just shaking it up every now and then and waiting to see what happens or whatever. It's the same concept, in my opinion. So, but it's interesting, these titles.
Yeah, that's why I think that, like, I think if it was just like an album of just those those pieces of music, I guess you would say, um, I think it would just be just kind of just like, all right, cool, next. But I still think it's all right, cool, next, because I don't think many people is gonna bite on this thing just because they don't think deep enough.
Well, I
But
do.
I
I
think
do.
right, obviously. But I'm just saying, like,
Well, he
without
could have
those little
called one of these
titles,
Mambo Number 9. I mean, he could have called it something like that. So,
you know, and I just think with the titles being there, it does, if you're into using your imagination and sitting back and thinking about somebody that's been labeled one of the best in hip hop and didn't even put out that many albums, let's be honest about it. And then he did it with another person, a group. But he did do just about all the production on every Outkast album.
hmm
So I think this is kind of like, it's maybe being like, look, y'all, like I had a whole nother side of me that nobody ever got to see because of the industry and
Yep.
because of y'all, because y'all wouldn't have liked this shit. If I would have did this shit, I wouldn't be Andre 3000. I'd
Y'all
be some
fucked
motherfucker on
they
the
fucked the
corner
whole
begging for
game up.
money.
They
You know what
fucked
I
the whole
mean?
game up though. That's why he like if it's gotten to the point where Andre 3000 feels like, oh, I don't even have nothing to fucking rap about no more. Like, what am I supposed to rap about? Getting a
That
colonoscopy? I'm
shows
40
something about
something years old.
society, bro.
That shows something. Yeah, that shows something about
hmm
the influence of the whole fucking. He's like, what the fuck is the point? You know what I mean? Like, y'all motherfuckers don't want to hear what the fuck I got to rap about any
Exactly.
fucking way.
Y'all don't want to
You
hear
know what I mean?
nothing
Like,
but just about this, that, and that. That's it.
hmm
hmm
You just want to
and
hear about that, and about that.
my
Yeah, and
nigga's
you already
third
know what
track.
those things are. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
hmm
And my nigga's third track is called That Night in Hawaii when I turned into a panther and started making these low registered purring tones that I couldn't control. Shit was
Oh,
wild.
that one. Hey, bro. Look, I listen to that shit. And I mean, you know, I smoke weed
I
on a
love it.
daily, every day, multiple times a day. But that one, I just smoked a nice joint to it. And I'm telling you, bro, like I was like, okay, like I opened my eyes,
But bro, you
you know,
can
because me and my
imagine.
wife, we was just
I
kind of
can
doing like a little
imagine.
meditating. I opened
I
my
can.
eyes, bro, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like I was kind of purring a little hard when I had my eyes closed. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking about like that. And then that you know that movie what's it called? Apocalypto or some shit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's got the Jaguar dude in it.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? So I
yeah.
started thinking
Mel
about that and
Gibson
I was
shit.
like, oh shit, like what if I was really out in the jungle and these motherfuckers was trying to get me and I'm a panther at this point or a jag, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy. That's crazy that he
So
was able to induce that. Like I think the number 7 title is interesting. Ants to you,
well
hmm
that's
gods
what
to
his
who.
actual name is. Andre 3000's actual name is Seven. That's what his dad and mom and like all of his people call him.
That's
And
interesting.
then I don't know where the goddamn Andre 3000 came from. Because when his dad was in my studio, that motherfucker called him Seven every time. He never said nothing about no Andre.
Yeah.
So it might be a family nickname. I don't know, but I know there are several people that use the word seven, and they might pronounce it a different way, but it's spelled
Savan.
Seven. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
several people. Matter of
Savan.
fact, there's a makeup artist down this way that frequents from Atlanta to L.A. And then now they're doing stuff down here with my wife. But he's a black gay makeup artist, and he goes by Seven. And you know, he's from Atlanta, so I guess he's got that vibe. But
That nigga said
since
97%
everybody wants labels, I'm gonna
Diddy and
give everybody their
Beyonce.
label for now on. You know what I mean?
Oh dear.
If somebody wants to be if there's the labels, then you're going to be a black gay makeup artist because that's what everybody wants. They want to be labeled, right? So fuck it.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna let
Bipolar
y'all know what I want my label
disorder's
as.
daughter
It's Mr.
wears.
My label is Mr. Great, always right, amazing.
Oh my God.
And I'll be going by that for now.
Okay. Well, I can
I
go
did-
then. You don't need me.
I identify as your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If you don't call me your Lord
Well, you
and
got
Savior.
you got Nova, so y'all you don't need me. I'm out then. I got some stuff to do.
Who do you identify as?
I don't know. Just I'm
It's
just
whatever
here,
you
dude.
want now. It's
Yeah.
whatever you want now. Shit. This motherfucker got titles to his goddamn, album. That's whole fucking sentences. Dreams
I
once
was
buried
surprised
beneath
that
the
you
dungeon
guys
floor
brought that
slowly
up
sprout.
that day and talked about it and never even talked about these titles. I was like, what am I missing
Oh
here?
yeah. I wanted to give it some time to seep into the world, and so I can have an actual reaction to it all. Because from the whole world standpoint on what was going on with Andre 3000, from the quote unquote black community, and then just I was just analyzing everything. I was like, I wonder how it's going to be, and then so I'm taking everything in before I even sat down and listened to it, just so that I make sure that I don't have those opinions, already fucking in my head before I
Mm-hmm.
do it. So then I can make my own. Like, okay, so people thought, like, that's why everybody goes to see a movie when it comes out. I wait and I don't see it, and I'm like, yo,
That's
just don't tell
true.
me about it. And then you know what I mean. I make sure I watch it when it's convenient for me to consume that type of information. You know what I mean? And then I can come back and be like, you guys are all full of shit. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, people are just all full of shit. So I was just interested to seeing what the world would say and do prior to, you know what I mean, actually diving in about it. But for me, it makes me smile when I read the track titles, and it makes me want to listen to it.
Okay.
It
All right.
bipolar disorder's daughter wears a 3000 button down embroidered.
Yep. I mean, because
What?
I think when you give somebody that title and then you just let the music go, it's almost
Yeah,
like that person can tell the story themselves.
yeah,
And Andre 3000 didn't even have to use one fucking, verb,
yeah.
adjective, anything.
Yeah,
He just made the music and then he sets the little stage and then you can go with
yeah.
it if you want.
Well, I mean, because there's a lot of things in music that are so like, okay, this
Can
is
you
the
imagine
structure.
Big Boy rapping on that shit?
Nah, there's a structure to there's a structure to a song. You gotta have verses and you gotta have hooks. You gotta have 16
Yeah.
bars. You know what I mean? Like there's so much shit that's determined already by the
It
game.
needs to
And
be
you
around 3 minutes and 30
right.
seconds. It
Your
needs to
titles
this.
have to be catchy and short. You have to have, you know what I mean? Like there's just
The
so
mix
much
has to be
fucking.
this way in this frequency.
But with him doing this, he showed how completely free of any of that he is. I mean, the first track is called "I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time."
I
You know
wish
what I
I could
mean?
do
So
that. I wish I could be that free. I really do.
I know. I mean, when you take care of a lot of your financial situation in life, then you kind of open up this. A lot of people, you know what I mean, who don't have to worry about their finances and shit, and aren't consumed with power. they normally end up like this. Like, we looked at fucking Jim Carrey like this when he started fucking showing up to award shows talking fucking out of his mind, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, what the fuck's going on with Jim Carrey? You know what I mean? Because he's no longer playing the character that, you're so used to fucking seeing. He's actually being himself, and
I
it
think
freaks you the fuck out.
part of his though is kind of an fu to the people, like kind of
That
like
too.
you're
I
gonna
think
listen
this
to
is
me
too, though. I
now,
think Andre 3000 is too, to me. You know what I mean? It's kind of an FU because it's like I'm not following anything y'all motherfuckers say that I'm supposed to fucking do right now. You know what I mean? It's just like Jim Carrey. It's a big fuck you. You know what I mean? And on the low, and in a way
It's
to
just like
express.
I think it might be like a quote unquote minority getting automatically put into the democratic voting system. You know what I mean? It's like, well, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
might
Okay.
want to vote as a Republican, but thanks
Right.
for just going ahead and telling me what I'm gonna do. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like
Yeah.
Andre 3000, I heard a while ago he was coming out with a new album, and I was like, oh shit, da, da, da. And then when it dropped, I was like, damn. But then I was like, but you know what? That's his album though.
Right.
That's his shit. I don't have to.
Right.
I'm sitting here listening to the motherfucker for free. So what can I say?
Right. Right.
I ain't finna buy it. I like Andre 3000, but I don't like him like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I
I
don't like
think it was
I
also
don't
a
think any
smart
of these
move
people should be
because
celebrated as gods. You know what I'm saying?
a
Like,
lot of these producers are gonna be sampling this shit, and he's gonna get royalties for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? So it almost is, to me, almost an ingenious type of move because
or nobody will
I've been
use it.
using it on my
yeah,
Instagram stories.
yeah, you see, and well, because the frequencies and shit. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what he was really kind of doing. He was doing some fucking honestly some soul cleansing on some
Well, and
type of shit. Like,
I like people to, read something weird that I wrote with a weird picture and then have some flute music playing in the
yeah.
background, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with this
Because
person?" I like people to go
see,
away
I
from
feel
that.
you. I like
Yeah.
that shock value too. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, he's about to fuck the world up. Because soon as I seen it, because the track title list, obviously, it came out before the album, so you got to see what the names of all of the songs were, and that shit had the world in an uproar. They're like, what the, a lot of the black communities like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Blah blah blah
Mhm.
blah. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, this is gonna be some trash. And then it literally says on the album that there won't be any rap music. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not rapping on this album. Hey, he put a fucking disclaimer. I'm
Yeah,
not rapping on
because
this album.
78-year-old black women are still going to see Usher in concert, so of course they want that same, that same thing. Spending
Yeah.
$850 of their well-earned money to go see this guy in concert. So,
See,
yeah.
hey, there is a show on Netflix called The Fall of some kind of Usher empire, and I made me look into the name Usher a little bit more, but that's a whole nother fucking that's a whole nother topic. I mean, it
Okay.
kind of goes into some of the shit we was talking about with Mr. Take That, and Bieber, and the nigga name is literally Usher,
Mhm.
and y'all know what Ushers do.
But
But yeah,
I think more than the name that bothered me was, I mean, in the last 3 years he's doing
mm-hmm. Fall of the House of
performances with a
Usher.
mask on, a leather mask.
Oh, they been had him. That boy been in the game for so long, and they had Neo too. Neo wrote all of the shit for everybody.
Mhm.
Beyonce, Usher, anything that Usher fucking Neo wrote, some, you know what I mean? So like they got that
And
all
think
of that
about
shit
it.
on lock.
Neo
And I think that's why,
that
Andre 3000 doing what he doing, because it's like, if he were to do actual music, who's gonna really fucking listen to it?
Mhm.
yeah,
He'd be like our
nobody.
music. You know what I mean? Like, there's just gonna be a couple thousand people that listen every month. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously you can build a higher fan base because this whole conscious community is growing type shit, and a lot of the conscious community understood. And there's a lot of people who make music in the conscious community. I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna sample the fuck out of that just
Mhm.
because it's played at different frequencies. that people don't get all the time. You know what I mean? Novus talks about it all the time. The low vibrational frequency of the 808s and all of this other shit. You know what I mean? That people use in the music is just, it's not.
Yeah, they ain't none
If
of
you don't
that
have
in his
something to
shit.
balance it, if you don't like you know, with a vibration, there has to be a balance. If there's nothing balancing it, then it's detrimental to your fucking mind, body, and spirit, no matter how you look
Mhm.
at it. You can't have a low vibrational beat and then low vibrational words on that beat. That's not gonna fucking work. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you can.
yeah, but they do it all the time,
But
right?
yeah.
But that's why, you know, people be vibing so low. You know, that's why we have these Fire Music Fridays to bring that shit back. Bring that shit back, like, cause
Yeah, if
I
you
go
think
ham
about
on
like
that shit.
if you listen to any of Ice Spice, that shit's all low. It's just even the way they mix her vocals, they keep it in that low
Bro,
range.
these
It's
bitches
all
might as
that
well perform
drill.
their whole show with their back towards the audience.
Yeah, the
Like,
whole
the shit
show
is
I'm
so
talking about.
fucking whack, bro. I be like,
Yeah,
oh my
the
gosh,
whole
like, did
show.
nobody
It's
gets
like, all
hype
right,
until the
well, I
bitch
mean,
turns
you know,
around,
I
man.
appreciate that. Hey, but check this out though. Let me tell you why. Okay, so Iggy Azalea
Mm.
Another
and
one of them.
motherfucking Cardi B. They
Mm-hmm.
both made over $50 million last year with their OnlyFans page.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And them
Mhm.
ain't,
So they're not really.
and it ain't nothing that you can't see for free. Like, that's what's so fucking crazy. Like, I don't.
It's like you must really be obsessed with that person to pay for that
Bruh,
because there's so many other ways to see those same types of things for free.
for free, bro.
And but then
There's
it's
something gotta be
like,
wrong with you.
but then you got to ask yourself this: where is that money coming from? I bet you
Yeah,
the majority is from Saudi, or not Saudi. We'll just say Middle Eastern, the wealthy of the Middle
Mm-mm.
bro.
East, and
Let's
then
just say
No.
China.
this. Let's just say
No.
this. I just watched this
You
whole
said
thing.
no?
I say no. Go
Oh,
ahead.
why not?
Let the man speak.
No,
Jason.
no,
No,
we're
no,
gonna
I was
let you
gonna say,
speak right now. Because look, check it about. Think about it. Dubai paid Beyonce like
mhm.
$25 million to perform,
I agree. I understand what you're saying,
and then
and that,
China is the number one of it all.
but they have
China pays people so much money to come over and perform.
proved that those OnlyFans accounts and those whatever you call them, I can't, cam girls or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they generally make the bulk of their money off of low end subscribers. So a $20 a month, a $30 a month, whatever. That's
Yeah,
the
but that's them
bulk of
people that
their
don't
money.
nobody know. We're talking
Right.
about females that people pay to see already.
I
No,
think
these
our
are
With
government has something to do with it. If you ask me personally, I had read something recent, you know, about how the
I
FBI
agree about
and
the lower end, people,
yeah,
being the bread and
well,
butter of the making. But I mean, then that's like, I don't know, man. Because I don't know. I
I'm just
just
saying our whole FBI, the whole FBI in the military, like they were fucking funding, you know, the whole thing that happened with the change in hip hop from, you know what I mean?
hip hop
They
was it was an
yes,
underground movement created on the back of the Laurel Canyon movement.
yeah. So the whole government had their hand
They have
in
had their
"Fuck the
hands in it for
Police,"
a
that
hundred
song
years.
"Fuck the Police,"
Yeah.
the all of that shit. That's what's so crazy about it. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, like when I hear like Beyonce and the motherfuckers making all of that money just on OnlyFans, or Iggy Azalea and Cardi B making 40 something million on OnlyFans, I think is almost like some of that money is fucking contracted fucking from the
Sure.
government on the low.
It's
You know what
dirty
I mean?
money. It's laundered. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's a way that like they could start paying these fucking bitches to continue to spread the bullshit.
Sure. It
You know what I
keeps
mean?
them it
Like,
keeps the membership alive.
I mean that's just me, but I get what Nobe's saying, because our government, all those government agencies are pretty much ran by people who have dual citizenship in Israel. And then
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. Their ties all over the fucking world. You know what I mean. So I get what he's saying as well. So like I mean, generally speaking, if the government is funding something, then it's most likely being
Well,
funded
the
by
reason why I
you know
say
what I
that
mean,
is because like
China
over
and the
in
rest.
over in like Middle East, like you don't like there's no women that perform half naked.
Correct.
You're absolutely right.
And in China, there's no women that perform half naked. Now,
Right.
anywhere else in the world, you can find women performing half naked, but in those areas, it just don't happen. And
Well, I
so
mean,
that's
it's
why I
more
think it might be a
if it does, it's more of like a ritualistic or like a celebration of some deity or some shit that we might not quite
yeah, but
understand. But
the
it's not
but
for
the
the purpose of sexualization,
right.
right? It's for a different reason. You might see someone dressed in
And think
India,
about it, like so if you're
twerking
in
their hips
if
and
you're in
shit.
the
You know what I
Middle
mean?
East,
But it's
right? If
yeah,
you're in the Middle East or you're in China, they're limiting what you can see. So they
And
might
and
let you see the
Canada.
music video
Mm-hmm.
of Cardi B and Iggy Azalea, but you ain't gonna never be able to see the little videos of them twerking and this and that. So the only way you're gonna be able to see that part is if you fucking pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's why I say like,
I see
I
that
think a
too.
lot of it could be because like, Rihanna got a big offer to go over and perform too. And Taylor Swift, she just got a huge offer. And it's like, what the fuck are they paying these people this much money to go over there for?
Because it's a safety concern, and they have to have a different contract and different people going with them, and like they have to redo their whole tour. It's not the same tour that they
Right.
take
So
everywhere.
there's a lot of effort put into it,
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm saying,
Yeah,
for them to get
it's
over
just
there.
like when they
So
fucking make all.
how much easier would it be if you could just pay a OnlyFans subscription and see everything that you want?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's truth to it, but I think the bulk of the money that they make is made off onesies, twosies people, and
yeah,
it's actually proven to be more like low income people who, don't ever leave their house and don't have transportation and this, that, and the other thing, where they're just paying small amounts and it just kind of adds up. So,
Right. Right.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that those statistics might come from America because
yeah.
over in other countries, it's just I think it might be just a little bit different because it
Yeah,
just seems like it's not so obtainable.
right.
It's like, oh my God, I can see a superstar having sex. What?
Yeah, they
But
don't even
people
be
in
doing it
Europe,
so
like
crazy.
people in Europe's like, what? That ain't shit, motherfucker. We see that all the
But
time.
that's so crazy though. What the craziest thing about a lot of them OnlyFans is that they're not even doing what you think that they're doing.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? They're not even fuck. Do you that one catch me outside bitch? Man, this is how you know the world is full of fucking pedophiles. You know what I mean? And especially in the United States, because that one catch me outside chick, she created her OnlyFans as soon as she turned fucking 18, and
Mhm.
she made over $1 million
Uh-huh.
just because a whole bunch of motherfuckers wanted to see this bitch naked, and then she wasn't even naked,
And then think
and
about
the
this.
people wanted
We
their
think
fucking money back.
think about this. We think that the United States has the most pedophiles, but in every other country around,
Oh,
people can get married at the earliest
well,
age they want.
oh yeah. But
So
But
I'm
it's like,
saying,
what?
there's less of a need if you can get married to a 13-year-old. There's less of a need for that
But that's a
I guess
age.
you would, yeah,
pedophile.
yeah.
It
That's still a
is, but it's
pedophile,
a
right?
legal pedophile.
Yeah.
It's
So he's
Well,
looking.
okay,
legally.
I get what she's
legal,
saying.
illegal,
Yeah.
whatever.
No, no, yeah. I get what she's saying because it's not, just like
Because pedophilia is not even illegal in a
drinking
lot
in
of
Italy.
parts of the world.
Yeah.
Drinking in Italy. You know what I mean? Like every kid has wine since they're fucking like 10 years
Oh
old.
yeah.
You know what I mean? For every meal. So
Just
like
in
There's
Europe, period, bro.
there's
yeah,
Fuck.
videos there's
there's less drunk
videos of them
driving
going.
accidents and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because so I mean, I get that for sure. But a pedophile, is we know, a pedophile's a pedophile, no matter how you want to fucking look at that shit. But no, but Nova is right though, because there is laws that protect people who've been convicted of pedophilia here in the United States. They can get deported and get citizenship in Israel. Like there's actual laws that protect these motherfuckers. You know
Well,
what I'm
they
saying?
can go to any Middle Eastern country technically.
Yes, technically they can, and that's what a lot of people don't know. That's what's happening. At the same time, that's why you think fucking what's the name? I think it was Tom Hanks ain't bring his ass back from fucking Italy,
Greece.
Greece.
Greece, yeah, Greece, yeah.
Yeah, He's like, I ain't coming back because they had a whole indictment on that motherfucker. He's just like, I'm not coming back, and he just got citizenship there. They're not gonna fucking
They
deport him.
have dual citizenship with Greece.
And
And
so yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. So he's basically, allowed to be after all of this evidence comes out, and then it's just swept under the rug. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay, well, whatever. Tom Hanks ain't making movies anymore anyway, so let him sit over there in Greece with his loving children ass. You know what I mean? Like, but that's that's how the fucking game goes. When it comes to that. But you're right though. Like, so they waited for this girl, and then like all she had was bathing suit pics and lingerie pics. Like they're in videos. You know what I mean? There's no extreme nudity from none of these quote unquote superstars. You know what I mean? Like you pay for that shit, and it's something that you could fucking see if
That's
you.
another reason why I think a lot of it comes from outside of the U.S.
Yeah, I can
It's
see.
just because like Bad Baby, that's her name, right? Whatever her name
Oh
is.
my
She made
Bad
gosh.
like
Baby.
150 something $1 million
Hmm.
Hmm.
on
She broke.
OnlyFans.
She broke that
Now,
shit.
is there enough people? Is there enough punk ass little bitches in the United
So
States for
that
her to
means
make that much?
so that
Yeah.
Good God.
means there had to be what 180 million people paying $1.
Hmm.
I mean, it's possible.
Hmm.
I I,
And
I would say that
and
it's very
her
possible.
her reach may go down now after she's exposed it for, and done it for, it may not be as
It has.
cool
Well, a lot
as
of
it
people
was.
people weren't exposing these articles, but I wish we were doing a show then. But I looked up the back end of this shit. So many people were pissed off because they were expecting to see a little bit more X-rated shit from her, and they paid fucking however much, $20 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't get to see what they wanted to see. People wanted their fucking money back. They was pissed off.
Well, that's, to me, that's your own problem because you're paying for
Yeah.
something that you really shouldn't be messing with, to be
Oh
honest,
yeah.
anyway. So,
But at the same time, it was just wild because y'all motherfuckers y'all was fucking dying to see this little girl before she was fucking 18. That's
but these
that's
are
how you
this,
know it was bad. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like, ain't no fucking way that she's like, yep, soon as I turn 18, I'm dropping an OnlyFans account, and y'all and everybody fucking and for 100, you say if she did a discount for 99 cents, that's 180 million motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That pushed that shit. But it was what, 8.99 or 4.99 or whatever the fuck it is. So if you do the math, I think there is a bunch of motherfuckers who would have just paid that $5. She might not have as many subscribers like you said as now as she did when she first came out with that shit. But everybody thought she was gonna be on some trashy shit because of how she promoted herself. So everybody was expecting that shit. All these fucking foul ass people was expecting and waiting for that shit to fucking drop. Like that shit was fucking.
Yeah.
That's how I know the
I
world is
think I
fucked up.
think
You
her
know what's funny
parents
to me?
orchestrated it even.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I do. I think they did too. But you know what's funny to me? It's funny to see that like all of this type of behavior, if it has anything to do with entertainment, it always comes from the rap side
Mm-hmm.
or the R and
Cause
B
she's a,
side or the
cause
hip
she's,
hop
cause
side.
she's
It
supposedly
never
a
comes from
rapper.
the country music side or the folk music or
Mm-mm.
you know what I'm saying? And so it's just
Yeah.
like it's just weird, not weird to me because I know why, but like it's just it's I think it's
The
something cool for people to look at and ask why then. Well,
the
why
music shit
why
is
is it like
crazy.
that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Why isn't like why is it a white female rapper and a black and
Yeah.
Hispanic female rapper, which would be Cardi B and Iggy Azalea?
Mm. But a lot of these
They
motherfuckers, there's
they're
other
they're they're
motherfucking
killing
rappers
Wait,
it
though and
and
shit. Yep.
isn't Iggy Azalea Australian?
yes, she
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But there's other artists though, right? Like rappers and shit, like even males, right? Who have OnlyFans and they make hundreds of thousands, close to $1 million a year off of that shit, and they're not doing. It's like these NFTs that these motherfuckers was selling, bro. They had no real utility at all, but people were just signing up just to be like, oh, I can see shit that nobody else sees. It's like having a like OnlyFans ain't nothing but a glorified fucking Patreon account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
extra
Yeah, yeah,
T-shirt. You know what I
it
mean?
ain't
It's
have it
not.
don't have to
Yes.
it
It
don't have to
doesn't
do
do.
with
You know what I
any of
mean?
those.
And Exactly. So it's like there's people like, there's you could fucking start an OnlyFans and be like, yeah, this is where I tell you all my trading secrets for crypto.
You can, yeah.
You you know what I mean? Like, so like there's more, but like, so like people only
Not
affiliate
legally.
OnlyFans. Yeah, not legally because you can't provide financial
Them
information
motherfuckers
without
will
a
be like,
license. Yeah.
fucking get that bitch. He's giving
Yeah, but
financial advice and he ain't pay for it.
you got to do a disclaimer. That's what you do. You got also that's what they all do. They just put a disclaimer in there and say, "This is not financial advice."
Yeah.
But
Until they
yeah, I'm just saying,
disappear off the face of the earth.
especially if they picks are good and they keep fucking making stable
Exactly.
money. That's the only reason. Like, that's how I know all them fucking influencers is fake,
Full
because
of shit.
if they're actually making people money, then they would have been shut your
Motherfucker
ass
be
down.
dead as fuck, or they be giving all that money to somebody else.
Yeah, but yeah, so that shit's crazy though. So I mean, there's people out there who do like this conscious shit. They got their OnlyFans and they do conscious shit, and they do even shit like you do, a megawatt with readings, and there's all different
Mm-hmm.
types. But all we know
Sure.
about OnlyFans is that it's some fucking some soft porn that you can pay for, some live soft
Well,
porn that you
actually,
can pay for.
for people who do what I do, it's actually safer because when you're
Right.
talking about giving up future tense information, it's safer for me to do it on a paid channel than for me to have to say allegedly before every sentence that I'm saying,
Yeah.
because then I sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
Um, because I'm just trying to protect myself
Yeah.
from,
So yeah, I just
yeah.
wanted to give the other side of things because we get what the world has made this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's to the point
Mm-hmm.
where women are selling their virginity this way. Like, there was
Hmm.
a young woman out of Texas, which is honestly, I don't knock her. It was a brilliant fucking idea because she actually ended up getting to keep her virginity and she made $2 million. So she put her fucking virginity for sale for $4 million, down payment of 2 million. If you renege on it, then she gets to keep the down payment. And a Saudi prince fucking bought it and then was like, then changed his fucking mind.
Oh, imagine that. A Saudi prince, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah. And so it's
Yeah,
like
but this
it's
is no
get
different. This is no
y'all didn't
different
y'all didn't
than
get it.
Janet
Y'all didn't get it.
Jackson. This is no different than Janet Jackson.
Y'all didn't
Oh
get it
yeah.
though. I
But
told you that shit was coming from the Middle East.
oh yeah, for sure. Who
I'm
else is
just
gonna
kidding.
pay for somebody's fucking virginity, bro?
That's what they love.
Somebody that
Yeah.
like literally, like, nobody even talks about virginity in the United States, but
No, it's not. It's taboo.
In Saudi Arabia, virginity is a very
It's
big
yeah.
topic.
You're
Mm-hmm.
energetically taking something from somebody that you can only get once. It's a one-hit
Mm-hmm.
wonder for every person. So you can only there's only so many people who can give it to you.
Yeah, it's just that you with capitalism, we you see what is done to the population. You know what I mean? When it comes to our entertainment, or our what you want to say, ability to earn an income. Like, we've taken the morality completely fucking out of it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what I mean, I don't knock anybody's moves on that, because like I said, the woman who was selling her virginity per se, you know what I'm saying, like, the dude backed out, so she still got $2 million, and she got to keep her her virginity. You know what I mean? All because of this new trend of these high value men who want virgins. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want a woman who's been out there or whatnot. But it's just crazy that she's set for life, no matter what her financial background was prior. All because of the rarity of virginity. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, now virginity is on the market now.
Yep.
That's how capitalistic we
Yeah,
become.
it's really stupid.
Yeah, it's fucking me, So you got OnlyFans. That's why OnlyFans make so much money. That's why, you know what I mean? Because people want to see things, shit that you supposedly wouldn't normally see. But all of that shit is just weird. It's just weird behavior to me. And the whole entertainment industry is based around that whole weird ass shit. And then the government is behind is behind most of the entertainment. And then, like we said, when you do the research, you find out that all these motherfuckers come from it, or do citizenship with Israel. You know what I mean? And then It just it's fucking crazy how it is. And like Nova was saying, like they don't see that shit. Listen, TikTok and fucking goddamn China, they show science, they show educational shit, like they show all of that shit. But over here, you know what I'm saying, it's dumbed down. All of it's dumbed down completely. You know what I mean? Like it don't operate like this.
Mm-hmm.
You there, no?
My bad. I was typing, telling somebody not to touch a link if they get it because it's probably a scam.
Look, protecting people's wallets.
Well, shit. No, I mean, really, just mine. Honestly, I was texting my wife. I said, if you get a random text about a package from the United States Postal Service, don't hit the link because
bro, they
ain't even got no fucking link.
Bro, they've been getting motherfuckers with that.
And it comes from winnersbellin9@gmail.com. Like, that sounds like the post office, don't it?
The post office don't even know what your package is till it gets to your front porch. Come on now. Come on. Don't even try that.
Look, it says this. It says the USPS package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information. Please confirm your address and a link within 12 hours. It gives me a link, but it ain't a real link. And then it just tells me to press Y if I want to blah, blah, blah. So when you press Y, you're fucked.
Yep.
Because there ain't even no link. It says, like, here's your link. No link. Doesn't exist.
Capitalism.
Report junk.
Capitalism at its finest.
Yeah. Speaking of go ahead. I was gonna tell a story about Etsy, but
go ahead,
speaking of capitalism, so Etsy, people can create an Etsy account page or whatever, and somebody created a fucking Etsy account. They were telling me about it, and they created the account. And then they got an email saying you need to verify who you are or some shit like that. And then they verified who they were. And Etsy came back and said, we can't service you at this point. We can't provide service to you or whatever. And completely locked him out of the whole shit. And probably because, it's a scam situation. But like just capitalism alone, it just drives people to do what during this time of year? Shop a lot. And then there's just like 1,000 more scams than there are any other time of the year because so many people are using their credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
Credit cards are like 20% interest right now.
They don't talk about that until the summertime.
Right.
They'll talk next summer. They'll be like, "Oh, last year was the biggest year of scams ever in credit card history."
By the time it rolls around, everybody forgot about it. Like we told you, we swear, we ran the story.
The same thing with the motherfuckers with the Black Friday. Yeah, I told motherfuckers, bro. Motherfuckers I was telling motherfuckers ears, like, bro, y'all got to stop that shit, bro. Like, just do all your shopping after the holiday. And they're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? They're like, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? Like, it's the point of celebrating, now. I'm like, because they everything is gonna be really cheaper. You know what I mean? They tell you it's cheaper during the holiday, but it's none of it's really cheaper. And then all you have to do is fucking do a little bit of research and you'll see that. Like Amazon runs everything. We talked about this, and you can look up all the prices based off of just Amazon. And then you'll realize, like, damn, if I just wait till fucking January.
That's everybody's price comparison used to be like multiple different places depending on what it was. But now it's just like, okay, well, let's see how much we can get this on Amazon for compared to this every time. And so that means Amazon does what? They control the motherfucking market.
All of these
if Amazon puts it for $5, you better hit for $4.50 or you ain't finna sell it. You know what I mean?
The marketing called that these companies be getting for free.
Bully marketing?
Nah, that affiliated marketing.
Bro, fuck that shit. I just remembered something you sent me. That motherfucking comedian talking about we need bullies back in school. Oh my God.
Wait. So he was saying
Megawatt, did I send that to you?
No, sir.
Oh my God, I
no,
thought I
this
did.
comedian he
It's
was
on
like,
Instagram.
so
I think I did send it to you.
as we've gotten rid of bullies in schools,
Jesus.
the number of school shootings has went up. And so he was his comedic little
Hold up,
sketch was
hold
Oh,
up,
going.
you
hold
did
up. I got
just
something.
today.
I'm gonna play. Yeah, I just sent it. I forgot I didn't. But listen.
Bullies from schools, right? And it's worse now. School shootings have gone up since we've removed bullies. And you know what that tells me? Bullies never did school shootings. It's been nerds the whole time, dude. You know how I know nerds are doing school shootings?
Something don't sound right. We gotta mute that motherfucker.
Ooh,
Oh Lord.
mic drop.
You're playing it
Lord.
from your phone?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Ooh, mic drop.
Fuck it. I'll just turn the bitch
You better
off.
call Andre 3000 and see if you can get him on the next album there.
Hey, I would
This
too.
is-
Right.
I would too.
Anyway, I was trying to play that dude, but never mind. It didn't
Yeah,
work
well,
out
he
like
was
that.
saying, that because bullies, you know what I mean, they've gotten rid of bullies in schools, that school shootings have went up. He's like, if there were bullies in schools, he said, you know how nerds are doing the school shootings because who the fuck writes a manifesto? He's
Right.
like, he's like, if there were bullies in schools, a bully would have smacked that pen as soon as a nerd tries to write a manifesto. He'd have smacked that pen out of his hand and said, "That's gay," and then stuffed him in the locker. And there's no school shootings if you stuffed in a locker. And it was funny as hell to me because I'm like, damn, is that the ecosystem of, like, they've totally destroyed the social ecosystem of the school system? Because you know how if you go into a certain area and you get rid of the quote unquote an invading species or
Right. I was just about to say, if you're talking about like
the
animalistic,
yeah,
I can see exactly where you're going.
yeah, that's what I mean. If you have an ecosystem of a school and you have bullies who kind of keep, some crazy, quiet kids in place, but then you have also,
What about
there's
like if
all
you took like the lions as the bullies?
yeah, and you took
But
them out of the
then what
savannah.
about if you remove the lions, what the fuck are the hyenas gonna do then?
Well, that's the thing. The hyenas they're insatiable creatures, and then also there wouldn't
And
be
they
enough
don't kill to
predators.
eat either. They kill
Yeah,
just
but
to fuck with you.
and the zebra and the gazelle and all the other species would graze so much of the fucking plain that it would, you know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
they keep each other in check. It's a checks and balance, a natural checks and balance system. And I'm thinking like, damn, because when I was young, I was a bully kid, you know what I mean? But that shit, learning to overcome that shit prepared me better for the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
There
mean,
was nobody who was condoning a bitch ass behavior. You know what I mean? Like, no, there was nobody that was like, yeah, if somebody does this to you, just go tell somebody. A school system who doesn't give a fuck about you. You
yep.
know what I mean? And then the
No, you
shit,
had you had your mom or your dad or like an uncle or some shit, big brother, something, either
yeah,
gonna take up for you or telling you, listen, next time that motherfucker comes up to you like that, or maybe they didn't word it that way, but next
mm-hmm,
time that person comes up to you, punch them in the face or
yeah.
kick them in the balls or do something. You know what I
Ain't
mean?
nobody getting punched in the
I'm
face
not
no
saying
more, no
that's the
matter
right
what.
way. I'm just saying that's
Right.
how it
But
used to
now a
be.
lot of it's cyberbullying, right?
Mhm.
And it's kind of moved away from like the actual physical bullying, you know what I'm saying? But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like nobody's telling these kids to punch the other kid in the face. Like, I don't care if he's cyberbullying you on Facebook or Instagram or whatever or Snapchat, wherever the fuck y'all be doing, but you see this motherfucker every day. You know what I mean? Like, I explained it to my daughter. I'm like, there's gonna be times where people are gonna fucking do and say things that are gonna be mean. You're gonna feel bullied and ostracized or whatever the fuck it might be. You know what I mean? I'm like, if it's really that bad, that, you know what I mean, to the point where, you know what I mean, like you feel like off in yourself, like, let's go down there and kick some ass. Like, we're not about to go through this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that after we whoop all they ass, me
Well,
and
but
you,
but here's but here's the thing, guys. I mean, bullying in its purest form, it does not stop when you get out of school, first and foremost.
No,
You got to
exactly.
learn how to maneuver around it and
That's
with it.
fucking real.
And I'm telling you, I have never ever been at a job where I was not either A, bullied by somebody above me
Mm-hmm.
or sexually harassed or
Yep.
both. I have never, I
Right.
can tell you in my whole
Right.
life history, never been at a job where one or both of those things didn't happen.
And
Had
that shit
nothing to
happens
do
just.
with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's how people, how ghetto they are and how they think they can get away with things. So
Oh yeah,
you
for
got to
sure.
learn how to maneuver that shit.
You
And second
got
of
to, and
all,
it. Yeah.
go ahead.
No, no, no. Second, yeah. Finish
I'm
your
just
point.
saying now they're using social media as a tool to video everything and just go up and kill people. Just like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
okay, I have this thing. There's 7 people around this one kid. We're just gonna beat the living daylights out of him, and then he's dead. I mean, like
Right.
this, we've peaked into a new era
Yeah,
of
there was a
Man,
kid
did
that
you?
Nova showed a video of where he they tried to jump him and he was stabbing the motherfuckers with a knife.
Yeah, that was just
You
the
know
other
what I
day,
mean?
and one of the kids ended up dying from the
mm-hmm.
stab, and 2 or 3 of them was like
You
really
sent it to
hurt.
me. I couldn't even watch the whole thing because I had just
Yeah.
watched another one where 7 boys killed another kid, in a matter of 7 seconds. I mean, he was
Yeah.
down and out.
Yeah.
You're talking about
And
7? There was, well, yeah, 7 got arrested for it. 7 got charged for it. Now think about this shit. All right, let's just be honest now. Okay, so if 7 white teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
males, jumped on one black
mm-hmm.
male teenager and beat them
It'd be
till they were
all hell.
dead, oh Jesus fuck, it'd be time to
Right.
goddamn riot.
Yeah.
It's time to
Mm-hmm.
get some free Nikes. It's time to get a
Yep.
sweatshirt, maybe a
Something.
PS5, burn down a
Something.
cop car, all of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why is it that it's only like that one-sided? It's so fucking you know
It's
what I'm
weird,
saying?
bro. It's to perpetuate the victim mentality
Mm-hmm.
that they want everybody to have. You know what I mean? And it's a different victim mentality for everybody. So they want you to feel guilty for being white, and they want me to feel oppressed for being black. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
And
So
Exactly.
it
they
creates a
make
tension
And then
that
it's
is
like,
right.
and then it's
unfilterable.
like, well, if I go out there and protest for this white kid or
Right.
teenager,
Then
whatever, that
you're
got
then
beat
you're
up,
fucking
then I'm
racist.
going to be considered racist.
Right.
So I'm just not going to
Facts.
do it.
So I'm not gonna do it.
But
Absolutely.
I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna talk my shit on every fucking
Mm-hmm.
social media platform I can and with all my
Mm-hmm. Well,
friends,
that's
and
because
it's
you.
gonna
That's
get
because.
even stronger and
Mm-hmm.
stronger and stronger like that. And think about how the CIA knows that too.
Oh
They
Mm-hmm.
know
yeah.
that if you suppress some shit, that shit's finna get strong as fuck, bro.
Oh, for sure. That's like, you put the
Anything, just
pressure on a
like,
coal and makes a diamond. Like
right,
it's just gonna
like,
fucking it's yeah.
think about this. Think about, because it's Fire Music Friday. Think about hip hop
Mm,
compared to this bullshit you hear today. Now, hip hop was underground, suppressed, right? They had to break through, and they
mm-hmm.
were coming with goddamn real shit, bro. Real life shit,
Yeah.
and turning it
They,
into entertainment and
and
showing people, look, this is how it is where I live.
Yeah,
right.
but
This is
that
how it
was
And
is
what's
where
just
I'm at.
but that was a direct sketch of them being used to run drugs, run guns, and do all
yep,
these things for these alphabet agencies. That's all hip hop is. They're
yeah.
they're putting out music as a way of telling what they're really doing. They're
Yep.
telling you what they're really doing without telling
Well,
you what they're doing.
yeah. And the
Well,
influence and like Nope said, the influence of the government behind a lot of that shit. Like they allowed the real shit to get put out to make sure that the divide was even bigger.
Yeah, because
You
you
know what I'm
really
saying?
thought
Like
the East
that.
Coast and the West Coast were beefing.
Yeah, you really thought though. You really thought like there was
well,
really
they were.
fuck the
In all
No,
police.
not
reality, they
not
were.
not in the way that they portray it.
Well, if you lived in that culture, then yeah, it did. Because if you came from the East Coast and you went to the West Coast, you had to literally do something called checking in. And
Yep.
if you
Sure.
didn't do that, you was going to end up like Young Dolph. Young Dolph was murdered in L.A. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
check in like he was supposed to. It's a real thing when you
Well,
bring a whole different uh, is East Coast and West Coast is a whole different culture
but
when you're
that's
talking about that
yeah,
subculture.
yeah, but
And so
that's
when you
like that's
get this
staying
type
there
of
though, like
gang coming
you know
from,
what I mean though,
this
like
area, it's just a
if
whole different vibe. Like
and
you
that was
can't
the
goddamn
problem.
go from Atlanta and go to fucking Chicago and go to the
Yeah.
club and act like you're in Atlanta.
But that was the problem with Tupac and Biggie because Tupac got fucked up in New York. And if Biggie supposed to be the king of New York, how come he didn't let everybody know that, you're not supposed to touch me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Well, that's
and that,
because Diddy was the
yeah,
king of New York and he had Pac killed.
right. Well, yeah,
Right,
we get into
but
that.
who is Diddy fronting for?
Oh, well,
Oh
you know
yeah,
who.
government.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
right.
Yeah,
You know who.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
government.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean they call it the hip hop police.
Yeah, hip hop, or yeah, yeah, the hip hop alphabet boys, whatever you want to call. It's so crazy that it's been a
Because they,
manipulation.
like you were saying, Megawatt, they injected the dope and then they
Hmm.
knew it was there and they let them
God damn it.
fester and play with it for a
Mm-hmm.
little bit and then they went in to get them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
when they went in to get them, they cut deals with everybody and said, "This
Right.
is what
yeah.
you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do."
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, flat out. Bro, come on, bro. You think that you can release a song called "Fuck the Police" during a high tension time in America with the police brutality and what was going on, at that time with the
Exactly. Well,
LAPD,
I,
without the government being like, yeah, let that shit out. The government
exactly.
fucked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government
They
was like,
wanted
oh yeah,
that. They wanted it to happen.
yeah,
Exactly. Well, think about this on
yeah,
a more subtle note. Think about how Cameron, right? Think about how he never supposedly had any encounters like that with feds and stuff. Bull fucking shit, bro.
yeah,
Them boys was
yeah,
moving dope from fucking Miami all the way to goddamn New York and rapping about the shit
and
and
stopping in
on their own
Columbus.
label and
Yeah,
on their own label and was
yeah,
making all the money from it. And they ain't getting no RICO charges on them, but they got one
yeah,
on fucking. I mean, come on, man.
That's
yeah.
just
You're right.
but that's just the front side of it. This is an
Yeah,
octagon with 8 sides, and we're only keeping talking about one or two, one or two, one or
hmm,
two, back and forth. There's way more stuff to this that people don't even understand. Way
Like
more.
yeah,
what?
Well, okay, here
Because you
I'll
can't just say that and then not say it.
well, because I
yeah,
wasn't planning to go in this direction, but you guys
Oh,
brought it up.
yeah,
When we talked about, I think it was just Jason and I the other day, and we were talking about art and art galleries and dealers and
yeah.
how that's a front for other organizations. So,
Right.
yeah, it's a gallery. Yeah, there's paintings in it, and you might pay money to go in and see it, or you might even buy a painting from a gallery. But the whole of what they're doing in it and bringing things in and out is like the Trojan horse of, you know, how getting things done. You're
Yeah.
bringing things in under the guise of one thing, but it's really something else.
right. Well, that's
Could
just
be
like a lot
seven
of these
other
fucking
things.
NFTs that call themselves art
Yeah.
projects and shit.
Yeah. That's why they like to use that
Hundred
term,
percent.
because they want to keep it subjective, to the fact that, it's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
some of them shits is just, well, most of them is just some flat out bullshit. Just like with the music. So you see, there was a lot of people who was preaching unity, right? And they allowed that to happen because it kept most of the fucking African American or minority population docile. Because like, okay, they got this hip hop music thing.
Just like
Let them
just like
let them
Q
rap
Trust the
about the
Plan
unity.
Storm.
Yeah, let's let them rap about the unity. Let's let them rap about them coming together and keeping their households together. All right, yeah, that's keeping them quiet. You know what I mean? Like they
Yep.
got something to say.
And bro, you know
And
what
then they saw
else?
the but then
Is
they
they
saw the
said
backlash of that
let's
though.
let them tell each other. This is the higher up, the CIA, the people planning it.
Yeah,
Let's let them tell each other that they only need each other,
yeah,
and they'll
yeah.
close themselves off
But
from the
the
rest of the
problem that
economy.
happened, what
Hmm.
problem that happened was they started seeing that the families started sticking together. The families started fucking, uh, not doing, what they wanted them to do. You know what I mean? So the
Right.
government
And
had to
who'd they
step
get
in once
that
again.
from? Think about it. Who'd they get that from? How many rappers got a name they go by that was a fucking mobster?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? Like,
But look, where did most of these major killings happen? Not in the
Hmm.
East and not in the West. Here.
Yep.
Here.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
And
Vegas.
Yeah,
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you said here. I'm thinking, where the fuck is she talking about?
Right here.
But yeah, no, you're right. You're right there in Vegas. You're absolutely right. A lot of the murders happen there, and and so
Well, I wonder why.
once they saw that the families were getting stronger, then they implemented, then you had the welfare and shit that started coming in, and if you get rid of your baby daddy, you know what I'm saying, then you don't need no man. Independent women started happening. You know what I mean? There was another psychological thing that was played on
Yeah, and
the
then
minority community.
that's just even more detrimental on the community by
Right, because
thinking that
then you
way,
can see the
talking that way.
direct change. You see the direct change in the music as well. So they're like, okay,
Yeah,
so we're breaking up the families. Now how do we do it? Well, let's just get this divide. Let's push the divide back going. So we gonna have to get rid of this unity bullshit, and let these motherfuckers start letting their rage out on this music, and they let their anger out and let their frustrations out from all the quote unquote oppression that they've been going through, and then boom. So they knew if they controlled the narrative of what they allowed music
right.
or hip hop to be, that they can have control over an
Well,
entire group of individuals, not just
exactly. And you know what?
black.
Anybody that's real about it I think, will agree with me. Like, so if you say, for instance, if you live on the south side of Atlanta, you're probably going to be black. I'm not saying it's 100% chance, but probably you're going to probably be black. All right. So that means that the people that run your specific area are probably going to be black, like fire chief, police chief, neighborhood drug dealer, big OG dope dealer that's got blocks that he runs. And so we're, like, in all reality, in those circumstances, where is the fucking oppression and suppression coming from?
Right. It's come.
And then why is that any different than how it goes in any other category or race of people? Just it's just tuned differently. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But why
I
is
think.
that the focus, is what I'm getting at. That's always like the
Hmm.
focus of it. But they never go into, because when they go into it, then it's like, oh yeah, well, we consider that black fire chief a white motherfucker. And we consider the black police chief a white motherfucker. He's a cracker. He's with them. And so then it's like, God damn, where's the divide is fucked up at this point, bro? Because like,
Yeah.
even the motherfucker with the same skin color as you that's trying to do something good, you already
But
don't
because
like him because he's doing
yeah,
something
because he
good.
because he's in a
And he
machine.
ain't fall in with the bullshit.
Yeah, but at the same time though, a lot of people feel like, if you're part of the fucking machine, even if
Right,
you
the
are,
machine, I get it. But like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, but
No,
but
no,
then
I
it's
feel you
like,
though, because there's
but
some
then it's
cats
like
who
the people that are so tuned in and tuned out to not join the machine at all, like they just don't realize how much there is in the machine that you can profit from.
oh yeah. Well,
Like, it's
I mean,
good
like,
to have a fire department. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking
it's good.
great to have a fire department.
Yeah, it's
Um,
good to have, some kind of internal investigations department for your whole city in general. You know what I mean? All of that type of shit. I get what you
you
mean.
know,
But like when a dude grows up in a neighborhood that he sees is so fucked up, and he's like, okay, I want to do something about it, and so he decides to be a cop, and he becomes a cop to do something about it, and he's actually a good cop. He actually protects the Constitution. He actually does what a fucking real cop is supposed to motherfucking do, how it's written, not the color of law, but the Black's Law Dictionary, how it's fucking written out, what all that shit's based off of, maritime law and the Black's Law Dictionary. You know what I'm saying? If you were actually doing what the fuck it says you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be operating, then you would be beneficial to the fucking shit. But knowing that the police ain't nothing but another cult and another gang manipulated by the government, it's almost like you're doing. He's just perpetuating the cycle, because eventually he's doing it because he has to feed his family, or he has to do
Right.
this, and it
And
becomes
some people look
something
at it
different.
as like,
Yeah.
some people have some people think this way. Some people say, well, shit, if something's got to be done about it. So I'm just that type of person. I'm going to get in there hands on. And so I'm going to go apply at the police department, or I'm going to apply at the DA's office, or
I'm gonna try to run for president when I turn 50, bro. I ain't playing.
I mean, and it's just like, but then automatically, unless things are swayed different ways, automatically that person that becomes the black lead DA is the jackass. When all he might be doing is really just trying to prosecute motherfucking murderers and rapists and thieves, and but just because he's with the machine and the big system, he's automatically Uncle Thomas.
Yeah,
dude.
Because then a lot of people will be like, shit, that motherfucker need to be prosecuting the same people that he working for. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, that is the case. But that's not his fault. In general,
right? It's like you can't do everything. It's like, damn, you can't have this one black dude working that's the DA. He can't solve it all. But what he can do is make sure what he does is legit.
Is the right thing.
And that's all the fuck anybody can do, bro. At the end of the day, I mean,
it just makes it hard when you got if you got a shit in, shit out machine, and you're trying to shovel the shit to fucking do something good. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there's too much shit.
Yep. And then it's even too much shit. And then you've got it like this, to where it's like, so now, and it's been this way for so long, but it's like any race, it doesn't matter what race they are. If they are with the machine, then they're
machine. And what is the machine called?
Government.
Do you know? No.
The Matrix.
No. Go again.
Machine Gun Kelly?
No.
Well, he goes by the machine now, so I thought maybe that's where you would go ahead.
I'm talking about Freemasonry. That's the machine.
I didn't know he changed his name to that, but yeah, you're right.
Oh,
all that occult shit, all of that.
So it's bigger than the government. It's bigger than black and white. It's bigger than this and that. It's bigger. So here's the machine, and it doesn't matter who you put in there, because if they've been put in there, they've already signed up and they're already in the club.
Right. And that's why I was like, when I tell people I'm gonna run for president when I turn 50, and they're like, for what? Then you're gonna have to do it. I'm like, I mean, hey, I'm not about to do none of this shit that y'all motherfuckers, everybody else fucking does when it comes to that shit. They're just gonna fucking take you out the game, and it's like, well, fuck it then. You know what I mean? I've lived a full life. I want to see what it's like if a average motherfucking American who lives most of his life in America, I have a lot of experience when it comes to running a fucking, business, or understanding what it is to live in this country. There's no better people than to have those type of people be in charge. But for a motherfucker like me, I get in charge and then just dissolve it all. I'm a fucking black op agent. They wouldn't want me in there, but I'm gonna give it a try. Just to give it a try. We're gonna call it the Black Flag Party.
Well, by then there won't be the same two-party system. So
I was about to say,
hopefully,
right? It's working its way to where there's a third party so fast. Jeez, man.
By 2026, there will be at least 4 parties. I can't say if they're going to be good or bad, but there's going to be at least 4.
Shit. Well, we already know, you know what I mean, the way this shit rolls. I mean, hopefully, you know what I mean, like you said, you speak hopefully, but, and since they changed the Constitution to make the United States of America a corporation instead of an actual fucking country, then, it's kind of like it's always going to be this, you got to look at it like it's a business and people getting hired for a fucking job.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that,
bored and shit.
There's a lot of scary things that we can be scared of. But I honestly think, to me, the one that actually kind of raises an eyebrow No wars, no famine, none of that shit right there, because it's not my reality, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but the generations that are coming up, hey, I mean, I've been saying this for like a week on this show, man. Think about it, man. A 10-year-old right now, in 10 years, they're going to be 20.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 years, a 20-year-old or a 15-year-old, that's 25, 30. Like,
30. Yeah.
bro, like these people, these 10-year-olds, if they continue on with all of the stuff like it's going right now, in 10 years when they're 20, there's not going to be any fucking 20-year-olds working or doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. These motherfuckers are going to be posting videos and figuring out ways to do marketing campaigns and all this other shit with AI and all this.
It's the classic hard times create strong men. Strong men create peaceful times. Peaceful times create weak men. And then the cycle fucking continues. You know what I mean?
And,
right.
it's like, what do we besides robots and AI, what do we honestly think that is going to keep the world running for another at least 50 years?
Oh, it's coming, bro. You can tell it's coming, bro. It's you can feel it.
I mean, just to keep this running for another 50 years means that everybody born today would need to be able to go 50 years. And you got, I mean, I don't know, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
I don't know.
What you're saying, bro. Because what the shit that's presented to these kids, like my daughter's fucking 9. You know, I have a fucking 15-year-old soon to be and a 3-year-old. Like, and a lot of people, 3-year-old was obviously born during fucking COVID. And people thought I was nuts to have a baby during fucking COVID, but it wasn't that I fucking knew COVID was going to happen. You know what I mean? But I see exactly where, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be completely fucking different for these fucking kids. And if there's not people like us, teaching our kids things that just not being taught to them, you know what I mean? It's going to be a fucking crazy fucking world. We can just look at it through the entertainment if we stand on Fire Music Friday about, everything that we talk.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, let's get into this this new song, VANTA-BLACK. You want to say something about it?
Oh, you can play it, and we can definitely talk about it because it was somewhat part of the conversation what we were talking about. But yeah, you can run that. VANTA-BLACK, short and sweet. Yeah. Logos on the track. Black mask, black gloves, nigga feeling dark as fuck. Black life, black soul, all my demons conjured up. Black man, white wife, don't tell me how to balance love. Identify with color like being you isn't hard enough. They spill the blood of our children and who won't clean it up? We spill the blood of our children and it don't seem to smudge. Drowning in excuses why we can't be better humans. Forced to be the Judas, your savior's execution is televised on Channel 9. The world is a stage that drama's created to bring your anger to a rage. Must I remind the consequences for losing mine? Throughout our time, the strongest conquer, the weak divide. Devils destroy, and God provides. Nobody really dies if the soul is eternal enough to make the ride. Lost deep in the rabbit hole till Alice we said hi. You may or not make it back to this side.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. A test. A test. A test.
Man, I'm about to run that back, man. I'm running
bro.
that back one more time.
That's why I'm gonna start making them just straight to the point, affirmation style. Yeah. Logos on the track.
Black mask, black gloves, nigga feeling dark as fuck. Black life, black soul, all my demons conjured up. Black man, white wife, don't tell me how to balance love. Identify with color like being you isn't hard enough. They spill the blood of our children and who won't clean it up? We spill the blood of our children and it don't seem to smudge. Drowning in excuses why we can't be better humans. Forced to be the Judas, your savior's execution is televised on Channel 9. The world is a stage that drums created to bring your anger to a rage. Must I remind the consequences for losing mine? Throughout all time, the strongest conquer, the weak divide. Devils destroy, your God provides. Nobody really dies if the soul is eternal enough to make the ride. Lost deep in the rabbit hole till Alice we said hi. You may or not make it back to this side.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. A test. A test. A test.
Black gloves, nigga feeling dark as fuck. Black life,
Hey,
black soul. All my demons
the ending of that
conjured
shit,
up.
man. That reminds me of The
Black man,
Purge, bro.
white wife, don't tell us how to balance love. Identify with color like being you ain't hard enough. We was just talking about that the black and white shit, bro. That's why I love it. Like it's almost like just a message. Like, come on, wake the fuck up. You know, this is not a test. You know what I mean? This is not
Right?
a test. It is something that comes from the fucking purge. It was just a message, and I'm gonna start dropping them like that. You know what I mean? In between the songs, that is, to keep things rolling. It's gonna be just a straight message. Like, and then once I get them all out and put out, we were gonna have a whole mixtape where we could just throw them 1 minute and 15, 1 minute and 30 songs back to back to back in kind of like an affirmation style. But that was just a message, and the reason why I call it Vanta Black is Vanta Black supposedly the darkest black because of what the fuck it's made out of, and I wanted to quote unquote talk to, I guess, black people, uh, coming from where I'm coming from. That's why I said what I said in the beginning. You know, a black man, white wife, don't tell me how to balance love. Identify with color like being you isn't hard enough. Shit, nigga, why the fuck? What? I'm not even black. I can't stand being called. Motherfuckers be like, "Oh, you a black man?" No, the fuck I ain't, motherfucker. I'm clearly brown.
clearly
I'm
not even
clearly,
Vanta Black.
I'm clearly fucking brown, my guy. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you want to look into the Black Law Dictionary, if you want to look into maritime law, if you want to look into the definitions, Webster, Britannica, wherever the fuck you like to go, you'll see that that word black is used in the definitions have been switched and changed. Why does fucking blanco mean white in Spanish, but
Right.
you know what I mean? Negro means black in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a crazy fucking. If you go to the etymology of the word and then how it's used to oppose the law system in America, you don't want to classify or identify yourself as black. That's identifying yourself as a creature who is subhuman and doesn't have the consciousness capacity to make their own decisions. Therefore, you have to rely on the justice system to do it.
Hmm. Hey, you know something, man? I've been realizing that a lot of a lot of that type of terminology that's been associated with the color black and the person black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is like it's been flipped upside down a little bit or changed a little bit, but that's how like Hitler and the Nazis were
Mm-hmm.
actually talking about the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it makes me think and wonder like, so
Just
did
giving you an
what
example of
did
how it's been
these
flipped. Think
right?
about it,
And it's
bro.
like
In the
did
Bible,
these
in Revelations, if you look up, it says, Jesus came back on a pale horse, right? If you have one of those Bibles that have the definitions, because if you look at the word pale, it'll have like it'll have like a three or two or three number next to it, right? And that means there's two to three different definitions, and or there's more than one definition, and the definition that they're going by is the second one. So if you read it, it'll say, he came through on a pale horse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then you look up the definition in the Bible, if you have one of those Bibles, pale means black. So,
Hmm.
like, everybody thinks the horse is white because it says pale. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
But the definition in
um,
the Bible
Yeah,
is
but
that
they
it was a
used a
dark
different
horse.
word to describe white people.
Yes,
They
that too.
totally did. Yeah.
Yes, that too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just wild how all of it's been like almost inverted.
But
well,
You know
but
what I
we
mean?
have
in
to
all
realize.
reality, white people are
Yeah,
Anglo.
there's no white. You're not white either. You're peach. You're fucking goddamn beige. There's like many
Right.
different
And
colors of
and I'm
fucking
saying like when people like
hues.
really get down to like white, like what was like the white race, like the Nordic god, you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
it's like the whole the Anglo Saxon
Yeah,
Anglo um situation. So um are you familiar with the Nordic gods?
yeah.
Because that's who
Mhm.
Hitler
Mhm.
said that he was basically like fighting for and he used to talk to and shit.
Yeah, there's a name for that.
What?
Pleiades.
Let me look it up. Hang on.
A name for what?
For following those type of figures.
Oh,
Oh.
probably Nazi.
No,
Nah,
it's not
but
that.
I mean, I've just learned that I ain't saying dude wasn't bad or whatever, but I'm saying that I've just learned that there's been a lot of things that's been taken out of context over the years, like this telephone on the string thing
Hmm.
or whatever it is. Because like I was watching this thing the other night, and it was like back in those World War II days, you know how now you see rallies and people saying "Wake up, America" and "Make America Great Again," and America needs to wake up, shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, the same shit was being said in Germany. Instead of saying
Mm.
"Wake up, Germany," it was saying "Germany awaken," and they were screaming that shit, bro, at these huge motherfucking rallies or whatever you want to call them. And I'm looking at the whole thing, bro, and like I'm listening to this dude Hitler talk, and he's talking about how the inflation was so bad on the German people, it had been inflicted on them by the bankers that they couldn't take it no more, and it was either go to a fucking war or just die because it was just getting too expensive to do anything, to import anything into Germany. I don't know if people realize, but Germany actually imports the majority of their shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And Berlin was a huge city that had like a 700-year history, and it was just like the motherfucking melting pot. You think the United States is a melting pot? No.
Oh yeah.
Back
It's
then, the
crazy.
Soviet Union and Berlin, like that was the melting pot. So I'm thinking like Soviet Union was like another United States of America.
Yeah.
It was the motherfucking most powerful thing at one point, and then it got taken out by who?
Right.
America. I mean, if you think about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, um, but anyway, just to go into all that like stuff and to relate it how it sounds like the same, if you want to call it rhetoric
It is.
today,
It's the same
it's like
game plan
whoa
with
man.
different players. It's the same game
Yep.
plan with different players.
Same
And
scene,
they
different
actually
actors.
they actually picked him to be their front runner because he fulfilled certain categories that they were looking
Right,
for.
like he was poor, right, and
Mhm.
then he
And
grew
he
up and then he
and he no,
became
and
he was in the army.
but wait, he had a desire to be famous. That's what
Yeah,
they
yeah, but I'm just saying,
capitalized
like
on.
his background is supported everything that he talked about too, because, like
Mhm.
I said, like he was poor, right, and then he became old enough to join the army, and he joined the army, and then he got out, and he was trying to be a painter, and he was able to sell a few paintings, but not really, not nothing big or no shit like that, and so then he kind of struggled through life, and became a political activist, and then, like you're talking about, they just groomed this motherfucker basically too because he just had that spark, you know.
Yeah.
And then he just became like the leader. Does that make any sense to anybody? No. How
Mm-mm.
does a dude come from being in the fucking army, like not connected at all, to motherfucking leading the most powerful thing? And then how does that even make sense? How does one motherfucking half of a country, because not everybody in Germany was a Nazi, so how the fuck does one half of a country become the strongest fucking powerhouse of military ever.
Well,
That just
Well,
don't make no motherfucking sense, man.
there's normal reasons and then there's paranormal reasons first and
Yeah.
foremost.
well,
And that
I'm sure that he really did contact some Pleiadians or some
no,
Nordic
they have a
aliens.
cave in the Black Forest where they were keeping some type of spaceship or space something or other that they had found or captured or got, and they were working on the technology of it. So they were trying to get that going before other countries who had found out about it were working on the same thing. And we were one of them. And the religion that I was talking about, Nova, is the worship of Odin. That's the Norse
Yes,
god.
the Norse god.
Um, yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what their
Odin. Yeah.
worship is called. Um, so that's like their Anglo-Saxon, whatever version of what we
Hmm.
are doing. So, um,
Yeah, and like a lot of this, a lot of the communism, which comes out of the eastern part of Europe, really originates from like the Czech Republic area. So you have like the Bolsheviks, Czechoslovakians, like there's so many
Which was
different
the Khazars.
Czechs. Yeah, there's so many difference of those. It's like,
If you go back, yeah,
damn,
real.
man, like what in the fuck? Like then you start looking back at that history and to bring in the music, right? The motherfucking music, bro, was like it was so fucking weird back then. It was just like it was almost like you were getting put in a fucking spell immediately from the way that they did their hymns and like all the ways they sang. There was really no instruments too much, like in that part of the world. I'm not saying the rest of the world, but like in that part of the world, I guess it was so goddamn cold all the fucking time and shit. I don't know, but they just didn't have too many instruments. And so they did a lot of shit just with their mouths or whatever, kind of like a choir. And the shit is just weird sounding to me. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just weird as fuck.
Yeah.
And so, how do we think that they had any type of good celebrating times in their life if these motherfuckers were freezing all the time under communism and that's what their music sounded like? So
Yeah.
think about Hitler.
it was
He knew
called
that part of the
oppression.
area.
Yeah, it was called
Right.
oppression. But
Mm-hmm.
that movement that has his name attached to it was in play before he was put as the leader of it. They were already
Oh yeah.
warring up. They were
True.
already gearing up. They had armies. They had people. They had a young army from 7-year-olds to 12-year-olds that they were pre-qualifying to go into it.
Mm-hmm.
He was put in, at a much later stage when they found the person that looked a certain way, that acted a certain way. I mean, you can't just have anyone doing that. You have to maintain a composure and a decorum and a front facing mentality to people
You
that
have
you
to
can
have a je ne
pull
sais
off.
quoi about you.
Yeah.
You gotta have.
Yes. Not everyone can do that.
Uh-uh. No, most definitely not. I mean, especially with the part that he had to play. You know what I mean? Like
Right. And
And
like
even.
and
traveling from here to there, like that's what he did.
and to be honest, he his own self had medical issues, and he couldn't be a regular person in the army. I don't know if y'all knew that. He had
Yeah.
very severe
Mm-hmm.
stomach problems, and had
Yeah, that
I don't
he
know if
couldn't.
it was
Yeah,
I don't know if it was food
rejecting type shit.
allergies or if it was something that he did or didn't do or whatever, but like he couldn't just go out with the masses of the army and just do whatever they were doing. He wasn't able to do that. So
Right.
a combination of things kind of put him in this place. And when you ask him now, he just sees himself as a player in the game, an NPC in the
Yeah.
game. He does not see
Yeah.
himself as this
Well, I
horrible,
mean,
awful person.
because it's. I mean, really, it's what the science would say. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I mean, if he's playing his part on the grand stage. You know what I mean? Well done, obviously. You know what I'm saying? The
Hmm.
best acting award goes to you, bro, because you know what I mean. You everything that it's almost like You know what I mean? I feel what Nova's talking about when he's like, man, I just found out that it's just not what everybody say it was. You know what I mean? Or he was
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that situation.
And
That guy
but
was
then
something
you ask
completely
yourself,
different.
you're like, but then you ask yourself, you're like, but now that I know what I know, do I expect anything to be like they say it was?
Mm-mm.
I mean, because
Right.
even one
That's the
times
whole
one is
point,
fishy
though. That's
now.
the awareness side. That's that. Okay, if this, what'd you say?
Hello?
What'd you say, no?
Oh, nothing. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, there's like a little delay.
Hmm.
No, that's on my end. I think it's my connection.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't say anything. Go ahead.
yeah. Mobcast mobbing out. You know what I mean? Gotta go drop my dad off some medicine, but cause he's fell victim to COVID.
The new COVID?
Damn.
No, not the new COVID. He's just super fatigued. That's his main symptom. But they don't even
What the
got
He
fuck is
has
the new
lung.
COVID?
well that
Wait a
that's that
minute.
well they call it the white lung or some shit like
Yeah.
that. It's like a
Yeah.
pneumonia that's been
Mm-hmm.
happening. And it started. Guess when
Oh,
it
okay.
started?
That. I thought it was the
Oh, okay.
actual
You
new
know.
COVID.
Well, I mean, it's the same, different
Yeah, I
day.
get it. I
Different
get it.
day.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they're
mean,
gonna. You know what they're gonna do, man.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they
Because
probably
you realize that when COVID hit, there
they're
was
not
no
gonna
more
do they're not gonna
pneumonia
do
and
what
flu all
they
of a sudden. You know what I mean? But now,
and
did
now
he
what?
get the didn't you tell me he was getting a flu shot though?
Jason,
Jake.
I'm sorry. What?
Yo.
Yeah.
didn't
I
you
said,
say he was?
didn't you tell me the other day he was getting a flu shot?
Who? My dad?
Yeah.
No, I had just took him up there. He don't. He ain't getting none of the new shit. He ain't getting none of
Oh, okay.
the new vaccines or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I told that nigga to stay away from that shit. But
I just know you said he's like, I got all this insurance. I might as well use this shit.
yeah, well, I mean, that's just he because he wanted to go to the hospital because he wasn't
Right.
feeling good. But he still be having early dumping syndrome and shit still too, which is will make you real nauseous and have cold sweats and make you feel fatigued and dizzy and shit. After his surgery because they moved his stomach up. And when you pass food too fast from your esophagus into your or from your stomach to your upper intestine, it causes an early dumping syndrome. And I think that's what he was going through mainly. But he went to the doctor, and obviously they told him that he had COVID. So I mean, that's why I don't really go to the doctor unless it's absolutely necessary because they'll tell you you got some shit that you don't really fucking got.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then you think you fucking got it. You know what I'm saying? And you believe it because this quote unquote professional told you, and you just create a disease or an illness, a frequency in your body for the illness to attach to. Like I just
But
don't even.
what about more than that? What about them just giving you an antibiotic for every time you go to the doctor? I
Yeah,
mean, that's
they
just
ain't
like
even
a
give him shit. Yeah, but they ain't. That's the fucked up part about it. Like they ain't even give this motherfucker shit. I was like, what they give you? He's like, they ain't give me nothing. So what you mean they ain't give you nothing? He's like, I'm like, they ain't give you nothing for the fatigue or nothing to help with how you fucking feeling. Like nothing. Like
so what
nothing.
is he taking?
Just everything he normally takes as a
Which is
fucking
what?
elderly guy. I don't think he's. I think maybe blood pressure or some shit like that. But
Well, he should okay. He should be taking turmeric if he's got, swelling issues or
hey,
problems like that.
hey, hey,
And he
hey,
hey,
megawatt.
what? Yeah.
Guess what? Like, I would love to. Trust me, I've been telling this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of them. He was one of them Nam guys. He's one of them. I was in Nam,
Great.
so
Yeah.
yeah. So he feels invincible on that line. He thinks of his body as like a fucking
Okay.
a real vehicle that could just be like he could replace the parts and then get back to normal type shit. I don't think he quite understands. So like No, not saying that your information is incorrect, because
Oh no, you're good.
I've taken a lot of things you've said, and I've told people like, hey, yo, you should try the same thing what Nova tells me, and when he tells me, hey, try this if you're feeling like this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And especially holistic type shit. And I told the motherfucker, you know what I mean? He really got the surgery that he got so he could continue eating how he wants to eat for the rest of his life instead
That's
of
crazy, ain't
changing his
it?
diet. Yeah.
That's crazy,
Well, you
bro.
might as well just set up a McDonald's delivery service for him and let it go. I mean, come
Something,
on.
right?
Yeah.
Because I just was like, bro, I mean, like, you know what I mean? You really getting this surgery because, you having so much acid reflux because of all of the fucking seasoning and bullshit that you've eaten for the last
MSG,
69 years.
salt,
Yeah.
yeah.
For
Or
the
just
last
all the
9 years.
acidic shit in general.
Right. And then instead of letting these motherfuckers cut me open and do this fucking surgery, like, why wouldn't you just try to change your diet first? But you know
Yep.
what I mean? He's a
Drink more
hard-headed,
water.
yeah.
Drink more water, better water.
He's a hard-headed individual. He's like, I've been here 69 years, and for my last little 10, 12 years, maybe at the most,
10,
I want
12
to eat.
years at this? No.
No, that's what I'm like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But that's how he feels, and to a sense, you know what I mean? Like how Nova says, he's not gonna die until he's decided that he's done. You know what I mean? I think my dad is like kind of like that as well. If anything, his mentality of I'm gonna live to see this certain thing happen in my life is gonna keep him alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Not necessarily because it's like a magic thing. It's just like
The
internally you
will.
start living and doing what you think you need to do and what you should do to be able to get to that age
Yeah.
or to that part of your life. Because like me, man, I was just sitting here thinking while we was talking, I'm like, oh yeah, man, we got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of just chilling,
Yeah.
have us a little staycation, and like I love waking up, man. I love life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it ain't all peachy. You know what I'm saying? But
No.
at the same time, like I just love life. So I think that I honestly will live to be really old
Right.
until I get to the point to where I'm just like, you know what, man, I'm fucking just done
I
with
feel
this
like
shit.
I'm so tired of standing in the roller coaster line. I'm ready to get on the fucking ride, the actual roller coaster, so bad that life is gonna give me a long life too. It's gonna be like, nah, motherfucker, you just gonna be waiting in this line for another. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
I
each
told
time
Yep.
my
you
wife.
each time you have kids, you put yourself back in the line, sir.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You
Yeah.
goddamn right. Especially when it comes to the reincarnation. But I feel like I want it's not in a not in a suicidal way, but like I embrace the thought of moving on from this life so much that I'm like, I tell myself all the time, like shit, I'll be happy to see 75 and then I'm done. Like I don't want to be. I'm
Well, I have
cool.
to stay here longer, so I got to figure out a way to make it that long because I got a
I feel
long
you.
way to be
I
here.
think that attitude is gonna make me have a longer life too, because it's like the way the universe works is about balance. So
Well, it's
it's
in
not
your
gonna give
chart.
you,
Your
yeah, it's not
life
gonna give you what you
expectancy is in
want
your chart.
for
Man,
sure.
sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, you know what, I'm about to buy this or I'm about to do this. And then I'll be like, well, you know what? I can just save that shit because when I'm 70, I'm gonna need that. I'm dead ass serious, man. That's how I look at it a lot of times. I'm
You're
like,
absolutely right.
shit.
It is all written in the stars. You know what I mean? And I'm supposed to live, longer than I guess I, quote unquote, would want to. You know what I mean? But if I figured this much out by the age of 36, I feel like by the time that I've doubled the knowledge that I've obtained, I think I'll pretty much, I won't know everything, obviously, but I would have remembered a good enough portion to be able to go, all right, it's time to go ahead and transition the fuck up out of here. But, obviously, the universe, or you want to say in the grand scheme of things, my reflection must stay around long enough until it's, the program is complete per se, you want to say. Um, but I also believe though that, you know what I mean, that the people that as souls, we have the ability to access parts of our DNA, living blissful lives that would make our telomeres grow longer in our DNA, which could kind of change our path in the stars when it comes to actual how long you're
Well,
incarnated in
you can
in
just
your
do work
vehicle.
on your heart chakra every day, and the same outcome can be the
Yep.
case because your heart chakra generates a larger field, and that
Mm-hmm.
makes you stronger and more
That
capable.
Taurus.
And yeah,
Yeah. That Taurus field for sure. In through the head, out through the toes, but in the middle is where the heart is. You know, I see a lot of those Indian cats. They do that cupping technique where they pat their heart, you know, like 9 times or whatever, and then they do like under their arms too for the
Mm-hmm.
circulation to their heart and shit. Yeah, there's a lot of shit I've been starting to practice and shit like that. And I'm like, my dumb ass practicing shit that's gonna give me a long life, and I don't even want to be here but 75.
Hey, check this out. Thinking about or talking about long lives now. You know that dude that spends like millions of dollars trying to reverse his aging process?
LeBron James.
No, it's no,
No,
not
but he
that guy.
does though.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this dude's
Yeah.
like really into it, like
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
ridiculous. Y'all don't know who I'm talking about? He's
No.
been
no,
like,
not by what
all
you
right,
said.
so he spends like $1 million a
Oh,
week
Walt
or a month.
Disney.
No, this
Stop
He
dude's
it.
alive.
cryogenically froze himself.
Stop
Oh, okay. He's
it.
still alive. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
he's
this guy
dead,
is still
and
alive.
Yeah. Walt
He's
Disney's dead.
I don't know. He's like 40 something, man, and he looks the same age as his like 20-year-old son or some shit. But anyway, the reason why I bring it up is because I was watching this thing, and it was him in his kitchen, and the motherfucker opened up his pantry or whatever where he keeps all of his vitamins. And bro, all the vitamins, the brand that I take was in his shit. And I was just like, yes. I was like,
Jackpot.
at least I know I'm buying some good shit. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't
Jackpot.
saying it's reversing my age, but I am saying that at least he's taking that shit, and that motherfucker probably taking the best
You know
kind.
what, bro?
You know
I
what I'm
really
saying?
think, you know, how old you look has, has a direct influence on your say like how you perceive or feel about life.
Yeah,
sure.
I do too, because like
What
you're
the
gonna like, if you're mad all the time and sad and just fucking miserable all the time, you're gonna have a different face than if you're happy. Period. It's just how it's gonna be. And then your shoulders might be hunched over because you're feeling all
Oh
instead of
my
standing
gosh.
up straight. And
Yeah.
then you're
Yep.
gonna have bad posture. That's gonna make you feel bad all the time because your neck, your back is gonna be hurting and shit all the time. Um, and then you probably ain't gonna have enough money to go to the chiropractor as much as you need to. So you might get hooked on pain pills. I mean, bro, it's
Oh
a
my
whole,
gosh.
and then that shit is gonna turn into a whole situation. Life will fuck you up, man. You
Do
got to
we
be
only
on
have
guard out here, boy.
do you only have 2 minutes left? Is that where we're at?
Yup, I see
um,
it. Well, close
nah,
to. Well, what
nope,
time we start?
we're good. We got at least 3 minutes because it ain't popped up yet.
Right.
Okay.
It's probably coming up soon though. But yeah, I think that's it's just like this. When you go get a facial or anything like that, like any type of esthetician or any type of situation, they're always going to take whatever they're rubbing in you and they rub up and out instead of down, because up is defeating gravity, down is pulling you down. So, just if you live your life up, you're probably going to look different than if you live your life down. Um, your whole surroundings too, you know. I think that's true. I think that, and then I think the better you take care of yourself, the better you're gonna look, and the more you're gonna want to be alive, around people, around just alive in general. You know what I mean? You might just like looking at yourself. You're like, damn, I just like looking at myself. Fucking, I don't even give a fuck about nobody else, and this is what's keeping me alive.
Okay. Well, anything we need to go over before the end?
Nah, I mean,
Well, my dad's car just broke down in the middle of the fucking road.
oh
That's
Lord.
what I'm fucking dealing with right now. I'm about to push this bitch.
This is live mobcast.
Live.
And you're getting blamed. You know that, right?
Huh?
I said you're getting blamed like a motherfucker
Oh
too.
fuck yeah! Oh yeah!
He's finna be like, that ain't a damn thing wrong
Bro,
with
this
that
shit
car.
just motherfucker just cut off. Like, bro, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm
He's
over
gonna be
here.
like, there wasn't no damn thing wrong with that car. That's why you was driving the bitch, because it's nice. And now you out there pushing the bitch. Oh no!
Like every time I hit the fucking gas pedal, that motherfucker just cuts the fuck off. And I'm out here in fucking in Whiteville. No offense to my white
Oh,
folk.
hey now.
No offense to my white folk, but if you understand like being a black man out in Whiteville with a broken down vehicle.
I've been in
It's
the
the same.
opposite. I've been
I
in
was
the
about to say
opposite. Yeah.
it would be the
Hey,
same way for Megawatt being in Blackville.
In the
I've been
hood,
there.
right.
I got into a
She'd be
car
like,
accident in
she'd be like,
Blackville, so
God
don't
damn it,
even try that.
I'm in fucking Blackville. God
Yeah.
damn it, I'm fucked.
I got into a car accident in Blackville, and you know what? They wouldn't call the police for me. Okay, so I
Oh,
Damn,
know.
Lord.
that's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
crazy. They won't call the
Yeah.
police for you, but they're gonna call them on Jason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they gonna be like, this nigga's
No,
been stuck
I
on here
had
on
to
this
knock on
main
a
street.
I had to knock on a door, and the lady said, "No, I won't call the police for you," and shut the door in my face.
Well, my
Damn.
dad got AAA, and I'm literally right down the street from his fucking house. I could fucking throw a rock at his fucking crib right now. So I'm gonna give him a call and let him fucking know.
All right, man. Well,
Face the
good
bad
luck with
news.
that. Hopefully you get. Well, at least your dad lives in Whiteville, though.
Yeah, well,
He's right down the street. At least you could be like, well, my dad's in Whiteville, so I'm cool. And they'll be like, all right, you're right.
You're right.
Mhm.
But yeah,
All right, I'm gonna push it over here into this fucking parking lot real quick and go in.
Well,
here
we'll
and
be
film
back
it.
Monday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Mindful Monday. Y'all didn't talk about no numbers or astrology today, so
No, sir.
hopefully
Nope.
I'm gonna be able to make it through the
Well, I
next
got
2
somebody
days.
I think is about to help me out, so I'll
Okay.
catch y'all here.
Bye.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
I'm out.